Hey, what's
One
going
sec.
on?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. How are you doing,
It's
Shaun?
been a while. I'm not used to being in this side of the interview. So
I know, dude. That was funny when you comment. I was like, oh, actually, dude, this is what Shaun used to do.
yeah.
That's cool, dude. Well, I was waiting for Nick to hop on, but he is doing something, and so he said he'd be a few minutes late. So we'll just start going, and then when he hops on, we'll just let him on.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
good.
well, Shaun, you know how this goes. So usually we just I would you people know about you, but maybe for the new people, like let's just hear a little bit about you. Like where are you living? Like what just
Yeah. So my name's Shaun. I'm from Melbourne, but currently in Perth at the moment in my parents' house. And I've been doing this stuff for maybe about 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years now. Started in January 2020, I believe. Yeah. So um yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I think it was a real journey, like especially, talking about all the things we're talking about right now, which is like getting a 10K, getting your first deal and things like that. Like I remember the feeling that I got when I first got it. It was like it almost made me realize it was real. You can watch as many testimonials as you want. You can watch like people making 10, 100K, all this stuff, doing the same thing. But as soon as you get it yourself, you're like, yeah, this is something that's actually possible, right? And I think even my deal it wasn't life changing. It was like $20 per sale that I got the guy, and it was like skip bin. So it was like ended up being like $400 a month. But it was just enough for me to go like, yeah, this is something that I can really make money off, right? So I think I actually like handed in my resignation after that as well. So um, yeah.
that's
In terms
awesome.
of currently, yeah, sorry, I was just going to quickly like in terms of currently, we're on about 25K a month, and I work with my partner. And in terms of like, I think the stuff that I use from digital landlords today is it's a lot of the sales process, like just being able to set up the Zoom call, like the two-step process, things like that. I still use that, and it's so effective that you don't really need to change it, right? So I've been using the same stuff, and so like I do a lot of courses and stuff as well, like join different courses, and I've never really had a problem with the sales part. It was just getting the business owner to be interested and finding the right people. So
Dude,
yeah,
that's
that's a bit of me.
so you like knew about like digital land or I guess not digital land, but like rank and rent 2020. And then when did
Yeah.
you join digital landlords? Like 2021, like right? You were like one of the first ones, right? Like you've been in it a while.
Yeah, like one of the no, not the first one, but like maybe second, third batch, I think. So I think about a year and a half ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a year and a half, almost 2 years maybe. Yeah. I think it was like February, March, 2 years ago. Yeah.
That's crazy. So are all of your, I guess, tell us about your deal. Well, let's talk about that first one again. Like, so obviously the feeling is great. Is it in Australia? Are you doing all your deals in Australia or are you
Yeah, in
doing them?
Australia. Yeah. Yeah.
And all this money that you're making, is this lead gen SEO? What is this?
Yeah, it's all lead gen.
All lead gen.
Yeah, it's all lead gen. Yeah. To be honest, like there's like some people that want to do web design and stuff, but like the issues I always get really salty because I'm like, if I do it right, then I'm like, oh, he wants to get revisions and stuff, even though it's like actually pretty standard stuff. But I'm like, nah, like, I'll be making this money just from today from my lead gen. So why am I even like, going back and forth 3, 4 times to make, $1,000 or something like that. Right. So, um, I think after a certain point, like I think in November last year, I said like no more anything else. Like it's just not worth your time at all. Yeah.
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 Dude, that's crazy. So with your business partner, do you do more of the sales and he's more, is it a guy
Oh,
or
so my partner is actually my partner in real life. So Hannah, she's
no way? It's your wife?
yeah, 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 yeah. Not yet, not yet. I'm gonna have to save up. I'm gonna get another deal so I can get the ring and
That's
um
awesome. Heck yeah.
yeah.
Hey, that's cool though, dude. I bet like I always think that would be cool too because I think sometimes it separates you a little bit. Like when you're doing stuff and you're busy and
Mm.
to like have your partner in there doing it with you, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, I think if you want to be real, like there's pros and cons. So like at the beginning, I was the same, which is like, you kind of just want to align the things that you do on a day-to-day basis with your partner. And so it was like kind of good having her on. But I think also the thing is like, I think as entrepreneurs, you want to take control of a lot of things. And so like you have to like learn to share. That's like the biggest thing, where we have to learn how to share the vision, and kind of like we both have to agree on things, right? And so there's not as much flexibility, and you got to learn to communicate better. But if you can get past that, then yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
If you can work together, you can get married.
Yeah, exactly. That's a marriage test. Yeah. If we can get a 50K, we can get married. That's
That's right. Hey, you get a ring at 50K. Deal?
yeah, yeah. The issue is now she knows how much we're making. She's like, now her ring expectation is just so high that I'm like, all right.
Like, we make that in a month. It better be a nice diamond.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, um, to begin, like you've done really well. Like you've scaled like really well. You're doing well for yourself. Was there a point when it kind of like switched for you? Like I know like you get a couple deals, it's exciting, but like
Mm.
there's some people where it's like you get a few and then you kind of like let off the gas a little bit. You get a setback, but like what like helped you get past that to like that 25K? Like what was that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So to me, I think there's like different moments in my life where like I kind of, it's almost like that whole like you plateau and then you go up, and then you plateau and then you go up again. So that's kind of like how I've definitely felt. Um, I think getting to the first 10K was like the digital landlord stuff, like just kind of realizing, especially when you buy a course, you just like, obviously you got to fork out money, and then you're like, you want to make it work. And so, yeah, I think I hit that really quickly, but then I did kind of like, yeah, I kind of slowed down, and I think I don't know if it's natural, but I'm quite a lazy person. So like, as soon as I like started making money, I'm like, oh, I'm like chilling, and then I'd come visit my parents more, and like I wouldn't really take it as seriously. But I think the second breakthrough that I had was, um, I don't think it's really taught too much yet, but I think it's actually doing what we do for other people, which is actually marketing, right? So like, how do you get leads for yourself? Um, because if the reason why, like, every client that we have makes more money than us, like, they make in terms of revenue anywhere between 50 and 100K, right? And the reason why they're able to do that is because we keep sending them leads, and these leads are worth a lot of money, right? So in the same way, like what I've realized, especially last year, the thing that I've been focusing on is actually getting leads, people that want to come to me to get my services. But in order to do that, there's just so much in place. And so like, first step would be, so I'm kind of talking about a lot of stuff, and it's a little bit unrelated. So just tell me if it's, you want
No,
me to
no,
back
it's
on
good. It's
track.
good.
First thing for me was actually recording testimonials, because it's exactly what I used to do for Nick. Yeah. So recording testimonials with my clients and saying like, I know what, basically showing other people I know what I'm doing, so that when someone comes in and doesn't know who I am, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, this dude messaged me on Facebook saying like, oh, do you have this, I heard you guys need, you guys are helping people get more work and stuff. And then he just like, yeah, I was like saying like, yeah, we do this, this, and this. And then I just sent him the website link, like like a landing page link with all the testimonials on it. And he didn't really, like, he was like, oh yeah, sorry, just looking at the moment. He realized that you got to pay for something, right? It's not a free service. But literally, I think like 2, 3 months later, I didn't even talk to him at all, didn't follow up. He messages me back and he's like, hey, I think I'm ready to go. And what happened was, I think he could see the testimonials growing. And then it's like, the more you see, the more you're just like, it's just proof that these guys actually know what they're doing, right? Even though, in realistically, everyone might already have 4 or 5 clients. They're just not recording the testimonials. So it doesn't look like that company knows what they're doing, essentially, right? And so that's kind of been the first step for me to kind of grow the business in terms of getting people coming to me. And then the second step right now, which is what I'm working on, is there's different avenues. So you can use like something like cold email, which is allows you to send out thousands of emails at once. or you can do, I'm doing Facebook ads. So I'm using those like testimonials, cutting them up and then putting them onto Facebook ads. It's not as simple as that. I wish it was, but that's another way to start attracting people to come in. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at right now.
Well, that's cool. And
So
I think like, even Nick talks about, he's like, the more success you have, right? For like, if your clients, your business owners, they have success, they start talking, they have friends, they have business owners that are buddies, right? And that's where
mm,
you're going to get a lot of solid clients is through those people because, hey, if you're producing and they're closing deals, of course it's going to, I feel like it's going to be easier for you to retain clients easier, right? Like my biggest thing is you'll get a client for a while and then it kind of like drops off a little bit, right? Like it's hard to
mm,
like really
mhm.
solidify a really solid business owner. So I love
Yeah.
the reason behind that and like how you're doing that because I think a lot of us need to be asking for referrals even with our business owners now. Like it's a good reminder to me like, hey, like what buddies are looking to grow businesses? I don't care if it's concrete, but like what are, and you could obviously look more into niches and whatever, but dude, that's a great idea. That's solid. So I have a question though. How do you charge something like that? Like I think a lot of people have that question of like you have someone come to you as far as like a concrete guy, or maybe it's a different niche like fencing, and the area is competitive. How do you consider price? Like, do you go ahead and tell them price and say, hey, this is what it would look like, or do you go ahead and do leads first, like you would a normal client, and then try to sell them? How does that work for you?
Yeah. Yeah. So initially used to do the leads first thing, but now because of the testimonials, right? Like that's another advantage, which is I don't have to do the trials anymore. It's like if you want to trial this, you got to pay essentially. We do a lot of like guarantees. So like, you've seen the Alex Hormozy, that $100 million offer book. It's like offer a guarantee. But the thing is, because like after a while, you kind of realize like how much money these guys make. So like to make a guarantee, we used to do this one, probably gonna stop it soon, but like we used to guarantee that they make 10K profit every like in the next 30 days. And that's a purely trust thing. So if they say they don't make it, then they don't, like, they can get a refund, right? But we found that typically that's how much people can make in the first 30 days, and it's pretty reasonable. And so in terms of how we charge, we basically just charge like 1,500 a month or 375 a week, actually. And then in order to get them on, we will give them the guarantee if they're worried. And yeah, I think a lot of the time, because of, kind of what Nick says as well, which is like doing the deal before you jump on the call. Like the deal's already done. They've already seen the case studies, the proof. They've seen that, we're going to get a guarantee as well. So by the time they jump on, it's more like just getting the details together, where they're going to serve, what kind of stuff we're going to do for them. The other thing with I guess in terms of expenses, how we can actually just have a set price, it's purely because we already know how much we've budgeted for them. So like we'll say like $20 a day to begin with, see how many leads that gets. We'll track the leads. As long as we're getting them at least 30 leads, we basically will be able to reduce the ad spend until it kind of hits that mark. And yeah, then from there, like, to be honest, they don't even know it's coming from Google Ads. They just know that they're getting leads. So
Wow.
if
That's
that
cool.
answers
Yeah, I
your
just always
question.
wonder because everyone does it a little bit different, but I like that. Have you had people where they don't make 10K and they're like, and then you just have to refund them? Does that happen often, or is
Yeah,
that?
that's happened like once or twice. Like, to be honest, so here's the thing. Like the thing about it is that, one, let's say like in any niche, let's say you get them 20 leads, right? And then so one lead, if they get one job, they already know that that's worth at least 5K maybe, right? So realistically, you only need to get them like 4 jobs to make 10K profit, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, but the thing is, like, even if they don't make the 10K, I've asked a lot of people, they don't make the 10K sometimes, right? And then what happens is they already see the value of the thing already, that they're like, oh, well, I mean, I still made money firstly. I didn't make the 10K, but it's more than enough to pay off what I paid for. And so they're still willing to continue because as soon as they get the refund, then the whole thing stops. You don't get leads anymore, right? So to them, they're also smarter than that. They know that it's not just about the leads, like how much I make in the first month, but how much I make next month, the month after, etc. Right. So I have done like I think 2 refunds. That's when we really can't get them leads. Like we can't get them even like 10 leads a month because sometimes
Yeah.
the area is a bit whack. So um yeah, like, but yeah, apart from that, I think so far, yeah, two or three maybe refunds. Yeah.
Wow, and that's awesome. What
Yeah.
what would you say like advice like since you've done it like what would you tell yourself starting out? Like was there anything that you would do differently? Would you go balls to the wall a little harder? Like what would you do that would just be a little bit different if you had to do it over again?
I think it's just like mental. Like I'd just be less scared. Like if I would have to do it again, I'd just like a lot of the stuff, yeah, like you said, like everyone already knows what to do. I think it's just I'd just be less scared. I think I'll be less calculative of like because I was so like conscious on like scaling, this concept of scaling, like and I remember I wanted to scale when I didn't even have any clients yet. So like it didn't even really make sense. So yeah, kind of just I guess just like trying to get as much money as possible at the beginning for just like your income, and then you can use that money to kind of pay things out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Welcome, Nick.
What's up, guys? Sean Bong, what's good,
Hey,
bro?
how you doing?
Well, cool.
Chilling.
Well, do
Can you
do
guys
you have
hear
any
me?
questions?
Yeah. We can hear you. Can you hear
All right,
me?
yo, you guys keep going. Don't let me interrupt. But what's up? What's
Okay.
going on, everybody? And Sean, good to see you, dude. I thought you were dead. I actually thought you'd be in a bathtub, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Not today. Not today.
Yeah, if everyone is that's on this call doesn't know, Sean has some he has a couple of how do I say it? Some Kimmy K videos that are floating around in the group. They are
OnlyFans
intertwined.
solo edition.
No,
Yeah.
they're intertwined with lead gen though, so they are instructive. If you guys
Yeah.
want to check those out.
Yeah. We'll send a link down below later. Yeah.
No, I love it, dude. I don't know what's been asked, but can I ask one or two questions, Porter? I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like one of the reasons that we always like to have people back on, and I think Sean, we've for sure done at least one, maybe even 2 times you've been
Season 2. Yeah.
on two. Okay. And then for anyone that doesn't know, maybe we announced this or not, but Sean actually used to come in and when he was, just I guess sub 10K, he would help with interviews and he would interview other people that were getting deals. He was our interviewer. This was what, a year ago, maybe?
Yeah. A bit, yeah, a year and a half, I think. Yeah, a little bit
Okay.
more.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago. And I think he's able to pick up a lot of things from other people, just
Mm.
the nuggets or whatever. But yeah, I guess what I'm curious with like there's a ton of questions, but what's been for you, you know, when you're at, sub $10,000 a month or you don't have your first deal, it's super hard to like get excited sometimes about the business and about doing the little things and putting in the work and making the calls. And when you're making 25K a month, it seems like it's easier to do that. What would some advice that you'd say like for people that are like they've been doing this for a while and they're not where they want to be, they've been doing this for a while, they don't have their first deal, and they just kind of feel stuck, then they're kind of losing that excitement. What would be your advice for them to just continue to stay excited and to continue to do the little things that are going to lead to the deals?
Yeah. Um,
Keep going.
I
I'm
think
keep
I
going.
think to be honest, it's just like you just need to see it as like just get one deal. Like don't think about how far you are. Like let's say you're on 5K and then you're like, oh, I need 4. Don't do like like I'm gonna get five deals in 10 days or something like that. Like that stuff, like I mean, to be honest, it never works because if you already knew how to do that, then you would have already been getting like a deal every 2 days for the week before. So like don't I used to like do a lot of like pressure myself to kind of get stuff like right now. But like I think just like almost like making reasonable goals, like, oh, I want to try get a one deal this month. And I mean, you might not get it as fast as you can, but like at least you're not kind of feeling really shitty when you don't hit that goal, because setting up goals and then not like being really far from them as well can also be the part of the motivation, demotivation. So I don't know if that's like contrary to some of the advice that other people are giving, but um I would also see it as like it's just a long game. Like I've been in it for 3 years now, and so like even if you calculate how many deals I get a month, if you divide all my clients, I think I have like maybe like 13 clients. Like that's almost like one deal every 3 months, right? So it's not like crazy, and obviously now it's a lot easier for me to get deals, and you're going to lose deals, things like that. But like it's not like everyone gets a deal, every day kind of thing. That'd be my advice. Yeah.
I love it, dude. Do you think I'm gonna ask a question I know the answer to? I know my own answer to, and I don't know
Yeah.
Porter's answer, but I want to ask because, in this group, I think there's going to be a lot of people that will see this. Maybe they're new to the model. Maybe they haven't actually jumped into doing it. But like, what is your opinion on saturation? Like, is this business model saturated? I get people all the time. They're like, dude, you got to quit like producing YouTube videos and talking about this because you're making it so that it's more competitive for the rest of us.
Yeah.
What do you think, bro? Is this model saturated? And
Yeah. So
yeah, let's talk about that, bro. Because I get this question. I've made like
yeah.
5 videos on this on YouTube, by the way.
Well, the funniest thing is like there's my dad actually asked me the same thing, where basically he's like, oh, once it's saturated, then you have to like, then your business isn't solid anymore and all that stuff. And like I think the reality is there's always going to be saturation. Firstly, in this thing, like I've probably done how many courses have I done? Like I've joined 2 or 3 really big ones in the last year. Like these are all like 15K courses, right? And no one knows, like no one has ever seen the thing that I've done before. So what that means is that like, these guys are all business owners themselves, and the reason why it feels like, everyone does it is because when you look around in the group, you're like, everyone else here does it. But actually, if
Right.
you look outside this group and you look into like, all these other business models, like they don't do the same thing. So, firstly, the way we do it, but like lead generation as well is like, I mean, it's always going to be there. People are always going to need it. So unless every single person has leads, which is very unlikely, it's pretty much never going to be saturated. Um, yeah,
I like it.
doesn't, yeah, don't worry about
Everyone,
it.
it's okay to have that thought, Porter. What's your opinion on it? And you can have you. And if Porter says he does think it's saturated, I'm not going to kick him off the call. I'm just curious. What do you think, Porter?
I don't think it is. I mean, I watch your YouTube videos and just the reasoning behind that. I mean, if you ask everyone that you come in contact, like most of my friends or anyone I talk to, if you tell them what you do or what, like they ask what Nick does all the time, like, what does Nick do? And I explain, they're like, oh, I've never heard of it. Like, there's just so many people that just don't hear about it. And I think also, like, yeah, there's a lot of people in the group, but a lot of people don't take this seriously. Like, they should, like, there's not a bunch of like guys that are taking it as seriously as other people, right? Like there's people that get a few deals, they know it works, but then they kind of like will lose a couple deals. They still know how to do it, but it's not like it's their go-to, right? So I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not like one of, it's funny. When you talk to people in certain industries, if they're affected by that thing happening, they always are super optimistic. Let me give you an example. Whenever I talk to my like real estate buddies or my construction buddies about the recession and about housing prices and about mortgage prices or the interest rates, they're always trying to tell me reasons why it's not going to affect them. Like everyone's always like, yeah. For example, I bumped into somebody that I was looking at buying this lot, this piece of dirt that's like a 1 acre piece of dirt. And I looked at this like a year ago, right? And this piece of dirt, just for the dirt, they want to charge $600,000 for this. It's not even a full acre. And so obviously I didn't end up doing it. I think it's stupid right now. It's like, that's way more than I ever want to spend. So I bump into this guy and he's like, hey man, we still have you on our list. You're on our whiteboard at the office to call. And I told him, I said, bro, I don't want to be rude, but like, I ain't buying dirt for 600K. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't say it just like that, but he's like, I said, it's just too crazy. He's like, yeah, but I don't know, like, if you've heard, but that's what everybody's saying. All the experts are saying that as soon as they cut the interest rates a little bit, it's gonna jump the pricing of the houses. And I'm like, and the lots and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that might be a little bit true. But I'm still not paying 600K for the lot. And so it's like everyone is optimistic and they're like, yeah, this is why everyone wants to think of reasons why it doesn't affect them. Or, hey, there's a recession coming. And everyone's like, well, the recession didn't really affect my area that much. Everyone's like optimistic, right? And so I'm saying that because my opinion on the saturation isn't me just being optimistic, but there's this quote, and I'm not sure who said it, but I've seen it to be true, and it says, the laws of marketing state that the more familiar a person is with a product or service, the more apt they are to buy. Okay? So let me say that again. The laws of marketing state that the more familiar a person is with a product or service, the more apt they are to buy. So a lot of times we think, oh my gosh, somebody called, like, I'm calling this city, I'm calling Las Vegas Concrete, and you call a business owner, like, yeah, somebody else called me like a month ago. Why are you calling me again, right? And we give up. But what you guys don't understand is, like, the person that called before is actually just paving the way for you. And so a lot of times some of these business owners are going to have to like, the first person that calls them and pitches them on this idea of renting a generic, like, shitty little website, they're not going to do it because they're like, what? That doesn't even make sense. They can't even wrap their head around it, right? And then you're going to come in and they've been thinking about it and they're like, oh yeah, that other guy told me about it. This is the second person. I should have done that other guy. And now they're ready for you, right? So I honestly, my opinion is, the more people we get into this business model, the more people we have calling all of these cities and all these business owners and concrete and tree service and spray foam, etc. Contrary to what you think, it's actually just making it easier for us. And when I used to sell door to door, I would do that. I had the same opinion. I went to this area, Bentonville, Arkansas, my first summer. And right when we got there, I knocked my first neighborhood. I remember this guy was like, or a few people said, yeah, you guys were here like a couple months ago. You guys were here a couple months ago. Why are you back? And I went to my manager and I was like, dude, there was another team that was here a couple months ago and they went and got all the good deals and blah, 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 blah. And I was all like butthurt and I was all upset. And little did I know that all that team was doing was just paving the way. So I truly think that, like, the more people we get into this, the easier it's going to become. You're going to have people that are going to say that to you. Hey, so you guys just called. Great. That's not a no. That doesn't mean they're a no, right? And I used to say that when I would knock on doors. If I started getting that a lot, I would start bringing it up first, right? We talk about this with objections. I'd call, hey, Mr. Business Owner. Hey, is this Jack? Yeah. Hey, Jack, I'm sure, did you get a call from, a couple months ago about this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was just like my information guy, whatever. Right. Like, you can preemptively bring it up. And that's what I would do. I'd knock on the door. Hey, did somebody knock on the door wearing a white shirt and a name badge? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my flyer guy. I'm glad he talked to you. Let me tell you what we're actually doing. Right. So anyway, long way of saying this. This isn't saturated. There's new businesses coming all the time. New businesses, new industries that aren't even formed right now are going to be formed over the next few years. There's how many industries, like, all the people in this group, I think, are making their money. We're all making our money in like 10 niches.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we don't even know when Shaun Bong going to tap into lead gen for OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
Bathroom niches. Yeah. But okay. Yeah. Bathroom videos, maybe.
Yeah. We hop into adult entertainment. We crack the code
Apparently
there.
that's trending right now. So
yeah. We really got to just start picking this up. No, I'm kidding. One other thing, and then I'll let Porter continue. I remember, dude, and I'm gonna bring this up for a specific reason, but when Shaun, I'm trying to think about you and I, when you started working with me, this is what, 18 months ago, 16 months ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah,
minute.
a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
I remember you were kind of like me, if I'm not mistaken. And because at the time, I don't know if you still are, but at the time you had a partner. You still with that partner?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still with her. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it was kind of like, there's two types of people. There's like I gotta talk to my partner. And then there's the type that's like, dog, here's the card. I'm gonna make this work, and then I'm gonna tell my partner.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Shaun was number two. And I don't know if your partner's sitting there listening, but that's what happened. And guess what, dude? You went and I think if I'm not crazy, within a couple weeks, you landed your first deal.
It was it was like the day of. I think no, remember it was oh yeah, yeah, the first two, but then I remember I even got a deal before just watching the free stuff as well. That's what
Yeah.
made me sign on in the first place. Yeah.
But I'm bringing this up because I've had people of both types, they're like, I don't know, man. What if I don't get a deal? Or they'll say, what is the average? This is my favorite. What does the average person make that joins
Mhm.
digital landlords? Or how many people have not gotten deals? Like I hear these questions,
Mhm.
and funny enough, uh, like you guys all know Cowboy Kyle, right? When I was recruiting Kyle to come sell door to door, he was doing like a painting job, making like just a little bit of money, and he kept saying like, "What does the average person make? What does the average person make?" And finally, I was like, "Bro, are you average?"
Mm.
And he's like, "Oh shit, ouch." I'm like, "Yeah, then why are you asking that stupid question?" So, um, if you will follow the process, if you will put in the work, if you will just do the steps, you may not get 3 deals in 2 weeks like Shaun did. You may not scale up to 9,000 in 90 days like Porter did. You might be like me and it takes you 5 years to figure it out. But if you stick with it, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
You
agreed.
know, Porter, what else you want to ask Shaun, dude? I know I freaking shit, dude. I know Shaun, you look like you've gotten younger, dude. What are you
Yeah, I
eating,
think it's all
bro?
the money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
It's the
That's what it does to you, hey.
I know in Hollywood, supposedly they're drinking children's blood, whatever that might, get me
The stem
banned.
cells. Yeah.
Adrenochrome. What are y'all doing over there in Australia, bro?
What's this?
Adrenochrome, dude.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Never
we
heard of
don't
it.
need to go too far. Dude, call me after,
Okay.
bro. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, we'll wait on that. But anyway, you're looking good, bro. They do say, I don't know about men, but they say that women, statistically speaking, women that have money are more attractive than women that don't.
Mm.
It's actually a fact because they can take care and go to get their hair done more. They can get their treatments on their face done more. They get their nails done. They don't have as much stress. Like, actually, I know I'm kind of
Yeah.
not, I'm actually being serious. So maybe that's it, bro. Maybe it's just the money. It's looking good.
Yeah, yeah. And don't even do it for yourself, do it for your partner if you want your partner to be
That's
more
what I'm
attractive.
saying, bro.
Like you
That's what I'm saying. So
anyway.
what's your 2024 goal? Like what are you going to get to by the end of this year, dude? And by the way, did you
Yeah.
tell them what you're making net? Because I think that's important to talk about. You're making about
Yeah.
66% net, right?
I mean, I haven't said it, but yeah, like, yes, I think, yeah, hovering around 16 grand profit, right? And that includes, us paying for courses and stuff. Like, courses is really expensive, but like, the ROI on courses, like every course I've done has always been, at least 2, 3, and the thing is also you get the skill. So, definitely don't, undervalue it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyone
But
that's
yeah, that's
anyone any
66%.
so your 24, 25, 25 is the top line, right?
Yeah.
16 is the bottom line, but that includes like he's not talking about digital landlords. He's been in this, he's long since paid for digital landlords, but he's in other courses and you're like talking about your payments with them included in your overhead.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
So take that out, you probably would say closer to like 75% profit margin.
About yeah, 60-ish. So say like, yeah, about 16 grand out of that 25 grand. Yeah.
So 16 is the bottom line.
Yes. Is that bottom line, like that's profit, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I
Oh,
I
you're
don't know
good,
the
bro.
term. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So 16 times that by 12, like basically $200,000 per
200.
year.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I can't list 5 different things that you could, I can't list one other thing that you could go do tomorrow that's a job that you could make anywhere close to $200,000 within a couple of years, right? Like you might get lucky and start at 75K or 100K, and you might get bumped 10% or 20% in your first couple of years, but it's crazy, dude. That's not a small amount of money. I think people have this twisted idea of what money is because they hear about people making 100,000 a month. Dude, 20,000 a month, $16,000 a month net. That's a good income, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and even for context as well, like we didn't even work last month. So
That's dope.
we only started like on this Monday, right? So like, there's so many other benefits than just how much you're making, but like I think just the lifestyle is just so much better. Yeah, even like I always like joke with my partner because she's always like talking shit about, oh, like I was on my way to like this manager level and all that stuff in an old job. But I'm like, oh, so you wanna go back then? Like you wanna go back?
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, I'm good here. I'm good
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I love that, bro. Cool, man. Porter, you got anything else?
I just got a few questions. We got Isaac
yeah.
Cheatham. He said, how do you overcome the fear of spending money even when you have proven it works? He said, that's my struggle.
The fear of spending money if what? Sorry?
Even if like you know it works, but you just have a problem with like spending money.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's probably one of my other issues as well, which is like yeah, basically just being afraid to like anything where you don't know whether it's going to work, and then yeah, yeah, I understand. I think my mindset now is I just assume it's not going to work, and I'm almost telling myself I'm going to pay to learn. So basically meaning that I'm going to spend this money knowing I'm not going to get it back, and then over time like learn how to basically get the result that I want to, and then like once I do that, then I can start making like good money off the thing that I've invested in essentially. But because yeah, like if you are going to try to see it, every dollar that you spend you need to make that money, then you're basically going to never start anything because you can never really guarantee anything. And yeah, you don't really have a choice, unfortunately. I
Well,
hope
I even
that's
think
probably not the answer that you want to
no,
hear,
that's
but yeah.
That's because I even think sometimes we have a hard time investing in ourselves, like whether it's even just like eating healthy. Like it's more expensive to eat healthy, you know you should, but like it's like, well, why not buy the supplements that is going to actually help your body, you know, or like the knowledge that you have. Like people go to school and take out hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn and go to school, but for whatever reason to invest in a program or something that's going to benefit you, it just scares the crap out of you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I'll give you another example is like people buy like dinner like $20 a day. Why don't you just put that $20 in ads? You know, like just skip out on a burrito or whatever it is. Saw that on a ad somewhere, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of true. Like I spend so much money outside, and you may as well just change it up.
Ramen's 50 cents a pop, dude.
Oh, is that what you're eating? Is that
Yeah, basically. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
PB&J's, baby.
PB&J's.
PB&J.
Maybe.
Gregory said, "What is up, Wood family?" I think that's our last one. Yeah. Oh, it
Dope.
says, do you do lead gen in Melbourne, Eastern states only?
Nah, all across Australia. All across
Oh.
Australia. Yeah.
Are you looking to dip in the United States? Where is it good over there?
Yeah, eventually. I don't want to saturate that market though. That's the thing, because there's
We don't
still
want you
people
in, bro. We don't
learn
need the
stuff.
big dog coming into our spot, bro.
Yeah, the big dog from the small country, like nah. I think eventually because of to be honest, the exchange rate, like I wouldn't even need to necessarily increase my prices, and I'm always like thinking, the conversion rate. But I think the biggest thing is like when you're starting, you want to stay in your own country because of the advantage you get of like just being familiar with the person. You don't have to, but like it is advantages that I'm Australian talking to another
Right.
Australian, right? Yeah.
Facts.
Well, that's all the questions that we have. Thanks for hopping on, Shaun. I really appreciate it. It's good talking to you. It's just good seeing that the success you're having. I know a lot of people appreciate it.
Yeah. No worries. No
Dude,
worries.
it's like a testament. I mean, I truly believe if you anything that you're involved in, whether it's an MLM, whether it's a door-to-door sales, whether it's whatever, if you stick with something long enough, you're going to make money, right? Now, if you stick with this, or you stick with, let's say, building a social media marketing agency, you're going to make money with both, but you're going to see an exponential difference in the amount of money you make and the lifestyle that you create. And so you guys, what we have to remember is like you've somehow, whether it's on purpose, on accident, by an invite, you found the business model that checks all the boxes. It's scalable, it's low barrier to entry, it's recurring, it's asset based, da 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 da. You found it, and now you just needed to go do what Shaun's done and stick with it. And when Shaun, I think this last thing, when you and I met, when you started working with me, you'd already been doing this for a year, and you made a bunch of mistakes, and you made some money, but you just hadn't quite figured out a few things. And, it took you a year to get to a couple grand. And then it took you it took a year and a half to get to a couple grand. And then in that same year and a half, you've now scaled to 25K. So anyway, just a testament. Don't stop. Just keep going. And
Yeah,
it
actually
works.
on that, I think sometimes, like, especially now, I guess I feel like I'm a little bit wise. I've been in it for a little bit, right? Is just kind of knowing that I think a lot of the time the timeline is just so short. Like, you want to get it in 6 months again. Like, feel like if you literally have never done business before and you want to go from 0 to 10K like next month, it's just not, it just
It's not
doesn't
real.
work. And like sometimes it's like, if you know that even if you did like 1.5 years, you might not, like 1.5 years, I didn't even make that much money as well. So like I think if you increase your timeline, especially if you have kids and stuff, like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but like, as long as if you increase your timeline, then you don't have to feel as much pressure. Because I think a lot of the people that do get those really quick results, usually they're in those situations where they have no choice, like they have no job, or like I know that ePay dude, he was like making like $1,000 a month, so like he basically had to make this thing work, right? But if you're like the person that wants the good lifestyle, you don't want to necessarily like go 24/7 on it, then accept that it's going to take longer, but like obviously keep going on it. It's not something that you want to give up on, but stop setting the expectation that it has to be right now. So
Love it.
just my 2 cents.
I appreciate it, bro. Porter, thanks for hopping on. You guys, everyone, happy freaking Wednesday, January 10th, 10 days into the first month of the year. Let's go make it happen. Thanks, guys.
Easy. Cheers.